this is an inverted rock back. You're going to set up some cushions. Now, the height will vary depending on your biomechanics, how long your torso and your femur length is. Ideally, we're looking for our hips, though, to be higher than our head and our neck. So I'm using some RX pads here. If you're at home, you can use something like pillows. Now, pillows might be too squishy. You want something that's a little bit firmer. So maybe some sofa cushions that are stacked up or something like that, or some yoga blocks. You can get creative here. So you're going to set up with your knees and your shins on these foam pads or whatever you're elevated on. And then you're going to place your elbows and palms so that way your elbows below your shoulder. Now, palms can be down. If that's too challenging, you can also have your palms or your hands are in a neutral position with your thumb up. Now, try as best as you can to keep your elbow below your shoulder and try not to flare out too much wider than the midline of your shoulder. But if you need to, you can start wider, and then as you progress, you can get those elbows directly below the shoulders here. So this drill is going to help us with some posterior compression in our low back, as well as opening up and creating some expansion through the front of our chest. Now, like I said, we want the elbows below the shoulders. We also want to make sure, try as best as you can to keep the knees and the feet in line so that way the feet aren't coming in. From here, we want our head to be nice and neutral. So you can do some bob heads to kind of stay nice and relaxed. We don't want to be cranked up or kind of really tucking that chin down. From here, you can press a little bit into the floor to get the shoulders away from the ears. Your traps should be relaxed here. And we're simply going to breathe. So really focus on the breath work here. You're going to exhale for 3 to 5 seconds, pause for 3 to 5 seconds, and then inhale softly through your nose. Now when I exhale, I can kind of feel my rib cage going back, and then I pause, and when I inhale, I can feel the air kind of going into my low back as well as into that upper chest. This drill, like I said, great for tension in the low back as well as helping with forward head posture or rounded shoulders. Now some common mistakes are, one, people being just way too far away, or they're almost too close and then they can't get the elbows down. And the last thing we really want to make sure of is that in this position here, we want to make sure that we're not over rounding and kind of tenting through that lumbar spine. I like to think kind of get long to the top of your spine. That helps stay nice and neutral in this position. You'll do this for the prescribed number of reps, generally in breaths.